presiding for this activity is the chairperson, the back himself, Engineer Neil L. Macarait. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. This meeting is now called to order. Back Secretariat, kindly confirm if we have a quorum.
The back secretariat hereby confirms the existence of the quorum, and in this regard, may I request the chairperson and the body to acknowledge the presence of the regular members of the Bids and Awards Committee, Engineer Benedict J. Sagon. Good afternoon, sir. Miss Letelin Samosa. Good afternoon, ma'am. Mr. Napoleon Gonzalez. Good afternoon, sir. Miss Sofia Mbatilaran. Good afternoon, ma'am. And the provisional member, and you, sir. Miss Dialen Pabros. Also in attendance, Mr. Chair, are the following members of the technical working group. Its head, Miss Alfidelia Esperlado. Good afternoon, ma'am. Before I continue, I would like to acknowledge the presence of our Assistant Director, Attorney Bartolome. Yes, sir. And together with Attorney Elaine Ansa, will be observing the proceedings. Let me continue. We have Rochelle Anby Palapal. Good afternoon, ma'am. Mr. Adrian Patrick G. Andal and Miss Aprilline Obogus. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Okay. With the quorum duly established, kindly state the order of business.
The order of business, Mr. Chair, is the private conference for the procurement of janitorial services for the National Printing Office for 1 year under NPO BAC 003-26 with an ABC amounting to 15 million pesos. Mr. Chair, I would like to request the body to acknowledge the presence of our prospective bidders.
Please proceed. While waiting for the attendance, kindly present the general rules.
General rules.
Rules. During the conference, all participants are expected to follow the general rules to ensure an orderly proceeding. Participants are requested to arrive on time. Bidders' authorized representatives who are physically present at the venue shall register and sign the official attendance sheet, while those participating through online platforms must indicate in the chat box their company name, company address, authorized representatives, email, and contact numbers. Proper meeting decorum must be observed at all times. Participants are required to keep their mobile phones on silent mode, observe courtesy and professionalism, and raise their hand if they wish to speak, waiting to be recognized by the presiding officer before doing so. All questions should be relevant to the subject matter being discussed, and unauthorized recording of the proceedings is strictly prohibited. Failure to comply with these rules may result in consequences, including a warning for minor violations or removal from the conference in cases of serious or repeated violations.
Mr. Chair, Section 43 of the Implementing Rules and Regulations of the Republic Act 12009 mandates the Bids and Awards Committee to invite independent observers to watch the procurement proceedings to ensure transparency and public monitoring. In this regard, we sent invitations to the following: to the Secretary General of the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry on May 20, 2026, to the Executive Director of the Philippine Business for Social Progress, again on May 20, 2026, the President of the National Printing Office Workers Association, an even date, to the officer in charge of the consumer operations of the National Printing Office Multipurpose Cooperative, again on May 20, 2026, and to the audit team leader of the Office of the Resident Commission on Audit Auditor of the National Printing Office on the same day. Mr. Chair, pending the completion of the attendance, may I request for 1 minute suspension. The following are our prospective bidders from the Triumph Cleaners and Allied Services Incorporated. Ms. Elvin T. Robiso. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. From Excellent General Services Incorporated, Ms. Irene S. Bravo. From One Merit Global Janitorial Services Incorporated, Mr. Rolando, please.
Miss. Miss.
Rosano P. Lipata. Rosario. Sorry, sir. And Miss Cristina L. Yarenas. Good afternoon po. AAA General Services Incorporated, Miss Ami Pagkaliwangan. Good afternoon, ma'am. And Miss Jonah Nacandaso. Good afternoon po. From Supermaster General Services Agency, Jomeli Sanchez. Good afternoon, ma'am. From Canco Enterprises and General Services Incorporated, Mr. Peter G. Haiko, and Mr. Gerald D. Malikdem. Good afternoon, sir. From Euro Janitorial Services, Company, Mr. Jolin Dante Aribon.
Good afternoon po.
Good afternoon, sir. From Alert General Services Corporation, Ms. Malu Atig.
Lana.
That's all, Mr. Chair.
Si Sir, parang hindi na-recognize. Yung naka-green. AAA. Okay, dalawa. Sige. Si attendance din. Wala nang problema. Attendance natin.
Na-mention na, Mr. Chair.
Na-mention natin.
Disregard the PWG will now present the bidding documents. Disregard, Mr. Chair, may I request that Miss Rochelle Ann Palapal be recognized as presenter.
For the presentation of bidding documents, I hereby recognize Ms. Rochelle Palapal.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good day, everyone. I am Rochelle Ann Palapal, the presenter of the bidding documents for the procurement project, procurement of janitorial services for the National Printing Office for 1 year under identification number NPO-BAC-003-26 with an ABC of 15 million pesos. Section 1, Invitation to Bid. The National Printing Office, through the Revolving Fund 2026, intends to apply the sum of 15 million pesos, being the approved budget for the contract, to payments under the contract for the procurement of janitorial services for the National Printing Office for 1 year. Bids received in excess of the ABC shall be automatically rejected at the bid opening. The National Printing Office, through the Bids and Awards Committee, now invites bids for the procurement of janitorial services for the National Printing Office for 1 year. Bidder should have completed within 10 years from the date of submission and receipt of bids contracts similar to the project. The description of an eligible bidder is contained in the bidding documents, particularly in Section 2, Instruction to Bidders. The award shall be given to the bidder with the lowest calculated and responsive bid following the procedures under Section 61 and 63 of the same IRR. Delivery of the goods is required within the delivery period stated in Section 6. Schedule of requirements for the bidding documents. Description, procurement of janitorial services for the National Printing Office for 1 year, with an approved budget for the contract of 15 million pesos. Delivery site, National Printing Office, EDSA Corner Nia North Road, Diliman, Quezon City. The preliminary examination of bids shall be conducted through competitive bidding procedures using a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion as specified in the IRR of RA number 12009. Bidding is restricted to Filipino citizens, sole proprietorships, partnerships, or organizations with at least 60% interest or outstanding capital stock belonging to citizens of the Philippines, and to citizens or organizations of a country the law or regulations of which grant similar rights or privileges to Filipino citizens pursuant to RA number 5183. Interested bidders may obtain further information from the NPO Back Secretariat at contact numbers 8925-2182 or 0917-8155-170 and inspect the bidding documents at the address given below from Mondays to Thursdays, except holidays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. A complete set of bidding documents may be acquired by interested bidders from the NPO Back Secretariat from the date of posting to June 9, 2026 at 1:30 p.m. and upon payment of the applicable fee for the bidding documents pursuant to the latest guidelines issued by the GPPB in the amount of 25,000 pesos. Bidding documents may also be downloaded free of charge from the website of the PhilJobs and or the website of NPO, provided that the bidder shall pay the applicable fee for the bidding documents not later than the submission of their bids. NPO will hold a pre-bid conference on May 28, 2026 at 1:30 p.m. at the John Silvanus Leach Training Room, 3rd floor of NPO building. Bids must be duly received by the Bids and Awards Committee Secretariat through manual submission at the National Printing Office, EDSA Corner Nia North Road, Diliman, Quezon City on or before 1:30 p.m. of June 9, 2026. Late bid shall not be accepted. All bids must be accompanied by a bid security in any of the acceptable forms and in the amount stated in ITB Clause 16.1. Bid opening shall be on June 9, 2026, immediately after the deadline of the submission of bids in John Silvanus Leach Training Room, 3rd floor. Bids will be opened in the presence of the bidders' representatives who choose to attend the activity. Only 2 representatives per bidder will be allowed to enter the venue. Summary of the bidding activities is as follows. Advertisement or posting of invitation to bid, May 19, 2026, Tuesday. Issuance and availability of bid documents, May 20, 2026, Wednesday. Pre-bid conference, May 28, 2026, Thursday at 1:30 p.m. Last day of submission of written clarification, May 30, 2026, Saturday. Last day of issuance of bid bulletin, June 2, 2026, Tuesday. Deadline for submission and receipt of bids, June 9, 2026, Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. Opening of bids immediately after the deadline for the submission of bids. Bid evaluation within 1 to 2 days after the opening of bids. NPO reserves the right to reject any and all bids, declare a failure of bidding, or not award the contract at any time prior to contract award in accordance with Section 70 of RA number 12009 without incurring any liability to the affected bidder or bidders. For further information, please refer to Mr. Leo C. Pablo, Back Secretariat Head of Bids and Awards Committee, National Printing Office. Or you may visit the website of PhilJobs and NPO for bidding documents. Section 2, Instruction to Bidders. We will read on the most relevant matter regarding bidders' responsibility. 6. Bidder's responsibility. 6.1. The bidder or its duly authorized representative shall submit an omnibus sworn statement in the form prescribed in Section 8 Philippine Bidding Document Related Forms as required in ITB Clause 12.1. Before submitting their bids, the bidder is deemed to be knowledgeable with all existing laws, decrees, ordinances, acts, and regulations of the Philippines, which may affect this project in any way. The bidder undertook the following responsibility: took steps to carefully examine and ensure full understanding and comprehension of the bidding documents, its requirements, clauses, and provisions. Acknowledge all conditions, local or otherwise, affecting the implementation of the contract. Made an estimate of the facilities available and needed for the contract to be bid, if any. Complied with the responsibility to inquire or secure the supplemental bid bulletins as provided under ITB Clause 10.4. Ensure that it is not blacklisted or barred from bidding from the Government of the Philippines or any of its agencies, offices, corporations, or LGUs, including foreign government or foreign or international financing institution whose blacklisting rules have been recognized by the GPPB, by itself or by reason of its relation, membership, association, affiliation, or controlling interest with another blacklisted person or entity. Ensure that each of the documents submitted in satisfaction with the bidding requirements is an authentic copy of the original, complete, and that all statements and information provided therein are true and correct. Authorize the HOOP or its duly authorized representatives to verify all the documents submitted. Ensure that the signatory is the duly authorized representative of the bidder and granted full power and authority to do, execute, and perform any and all acts necessary to participate, submit the bid, to sign and execute the ensuing contract, accompanied by the duly notarized special power of attorney, board or permanent resolution or secretary certificate, whichever is applicable. Complied with the disclosure provision under Section 81 and 82 of RA number 12009 and its IRR in relation to other provision of RA 3019. Complied with existing labor laws and standards in the case of procurement of services. Moreover, the bidder undertakes to ensure the entitlement of the workers to wages, hours of work, safety and health, and other prevailing conditions of work as established by the national laws, rules and regulations, or collective bargaining agreement, or arbitration award if and when applicable. In case there is a finding by the procuring entity or the Department of Labor and Employment of underpayment or non-payment of workers' wages and wage-related benefits, the bidder agrees that the performance security or portion of the contract amount shall be withheld in favor of the complaining workers pursuant to appropriate provisions of RA number 12009, without prejudice to the institution of appropriate actions under Labor Code as amended and other social legislations. Comply with occupational safety and health standards and correct deficiencies if any. In case of an imminent danger, injury, or death of the worker, the bidder undertakes to suspend contract implementation pending clearance to resume from the Dole Regional Office in compliance with the work stoppage order and inform the workers of their conditions of work, labor clauses under the contract specifying wages, hours of work, and other benefits under prevailing national laws, rules, and regulations, or CBA, or arbitration award if and when applicable, through posting in two conspicuous places in the establishment's premises. Ensure that it did not give or pay directly or indirectly any commission, amount, fee, or any form of consideration, pecuniary and otherwise, to any person or official, personnel, or representative of the government in relation to any procurement project or activity. Examine all instructions, forms, terms, and specifications in the bidding documents. Determine and comply with all matters pertaining to the contract to be bid, including but not limited to the location and the nature of this project, climatic conditions, transportation facilities, and other factors that may affect the cost, duration, and execution or implementation of this project. Ensure that all information in the bidding documents, including bid or supplemental bid bulletins issued, are correct and consistent. Procuring entity shall not assume any responsibility regarding erroneous interpretations or conclusion by the prospective or eligible bidder out of the data furnished by the procuring entity. Failure to observe any of the above responsibilities shall be at the risk of the bidder concerned. 6.4. Further, the bidder shall bear all costs associated with the preparation and submission of its bid, and the procuring entity shall in no case be responsible or liable for those costs, regardless of the conduct or outcome of the bidding process. In case of failure of bidding, the bidding document's fee may be applied in the rebidding of the same project. Furthermore, Furthermore, the bidder should be aware that the procuring entity will accept bids only from those who have paid the applicable fee of the bidding documents at the office indicated in the invitation to bid. Section 3, Bid Data Sheet. ITB Clause 1.1, the procuring entity, National Printing Office with project title, Procurement of Janitorial Services for the National Printing Office for 1 year with identification number NPO-BAC-003-26. ITB Clause 1.2, the number of lots 1. ITB Clause 2, the funding source, the GOP through the source of funding as indicated below for 2026 in the amount of 15 million pesos. The source of funding is through the revolving fund. ITB Clause 5.4, the bidder's SLCC similar to the contract to be bid should have been completed within 10 years prior to the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. ITB Clause 5.5, for the purpose of similar contracts, it shall be defined as, first, the bidder must have completed within the period of 5 years from the submission of the bid an SLCC that is similar to the procurement project to be bid and whose value adjusted to current prices using the Philippine Statistics Authority Consumer Price Indices. Bidders must present a combination of contract completed within the same period provided the total value is at least 50% of the ABC. Thus, the bidder should have completed at least one similar contract amounting to 25% of the ABC, and the bidder should have completed other contracts, whether similar or not, with an aggregated amount of at least 25% of the ABC. Classified as similar contracts. Janitorial services. Mr. Chair, regarding with the period of the SLCC, as stated in 5.4, it was 10 years.
Ma'am, yun din yung tanong mo, ma'am. Okay. Ma'am Dayalin, na ikaw ba ay nasa kondisyon para sagutin yung tanong?
Yes po, Mr. Chair. I believe po typo error. 10 years po talaga.
Okay, 10 years. Please take note sa back secretariat and reflect the adjustment.
Noted po, Mr. Chair.
Continue, Ma'am Rosiel.
ITB Clause 12. Documents comprising the bid, technical and financial components. The first bid envelope shall contain the following technical documents, including the eligibility documents. A. Valid and updated field job certificate of registration, platinum membership, including Annex A of the field jobs registration. B. Original and duly signed statement of the bidder's single largest contract completed, similar to the procurement project to be bid, as provided in the ITB Clause 5.5 of the bidding documents. The bidder shall attach any of the following: official receipt, sales invoice, or certificate of acceptance with at least satisfactory rating. C. The bidder's original and duly signed computation of net financial contracting capacity must be at least equal to the ABC to be bid or committed line of credit from a universal or commercial bank in lieu of its NFCC computation must be at least equal to 10% of the ABC to be bid. D. The bidder's original and duly signed statement of all ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. E. If applicable, duly signed joint venture agreement in case the joint venture is already in existence, or duly notarized statements from all potential JV partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the provision of the JVA in the event that the bid is successful. F. Original copy of bid security in the prescribed form, amount in accordance with ITB Clause 16 and valid for the period specified in ITB Clause 15. If the amount of a surety bond, submit also a certification issued by the Insurance Commission, or if applicable, original copy of a duly notarized bid securing declaration. G. Conformity with the technical specifications under Section 6 and 7 of the bidding documents and supplemental bid bulletin, if any, which may include production or delivery schedule, manpower requirements, and or after-sales parts, if applicable. H. Original duly signed and notarized omnibus sworn statement in accordance with Section 54.3 of the RA 12-009 and if applicable, original notarized secretary certificate in case of a corporation, partnership, or cooperative, or original power, special power of attorney of all members of the joint venture giving full power and authority to its officers to sign the OSS and do acts to represent the bidder. I, for foreign bidders claiming eligibility by reason of their country's extension of reciprocal rights to Filipinos, a certification from the relevant government office of their country stating that Filipinos are allowed to participate in the government procurement activities for the same item or product. For the second bid envelope shall contain the following financial documents. J. Original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form with proper reference or project ID number and bid bulletin number, if any. Each page shall be signed or initialed. Original of duly signed and accomplished price schedule in accordance with ITB Clause 13.1. Each page shall be signed or initialed. If applicable, certificate of domestic preference in accordance with ITB Clause 25. Note, notarized documents as indicated or stipulated in here checklist must bear the complete details of the notary public as follows. Name of the notary public, office address, and regular place of work or business, validity of notarial commission, IBPOR number, roll number, PTR number, and at least MCLE compliance aid or as applicable. ITB Clause 12.4, the ABC is 15 million pesos. Any bid with a financial component exceeding the amount shall not be accepted. ITB Clause 15.1, bids will be valid for 120 calendar days from bid opening. ITB Clause 16.1, the bid security shall be in the form of a bid securing declaration or any of the following. First, the amount of not less than 2% of the ABC or 300,000 pesos if bid securities in cash, cashier's or manager's check. Second, the amount of not less than 5% of the ABC or 750,000 pesos if bid securities in bank draft, guarantee, irrevocable LOC, or surety bond. Bid securities other than the bid securing declaration shall be turned over to the NPO cashier section for custody. The bid securing declaration shall be in custody of the back secretariat. Bid security shall not contain any deletion, crossing out, expunction, or any form of correction. Otherwise, NPO may reject such security if any such intercalation, superimposition, or alteration affects any material information or feature of the document. ITB Clause 16.2, the bid security shall be valid for 120 calendar days from bid opening. ITB Clause 18, for the submission of bid proposal, each bidder shall submit only one copy of the first and second components of its bid. Bidder shall enclose their technical document described in ITB Clause 12 in one sealed envelope marked technical component and financial component in another sealed envelope marked financial component. Both envelopes shall then be enclosed in one single outer or mother envelope marked bid, properly labeled, sealed, and signed by the bidder or its authorized representative. The markings on all envelopes shall contain the name of the contract to be bid in capital letters, bear the name and address of the bidder in capital letters, be addressed to the procuring entity's back in accordance with ITB Clause 1.1, bear the specific identification number of this bidding process indicated in ITB Clause 1.1, and bear a warning, do not open before the date and time for the opening of bids in accordance with ITB Clause 19. To facilitate the receipt and classification of bid envelopes, outer or mother envelope shall be in color red, the inner envelope containing technical proposal shall be in blue, the inner envelope containing financial proposal shall be in green, the post-qualification document shall be in brown. Bid envelopes that are not properly sealed and marked as required in a bidding document shall be accepted, provided that the bidder or its duly authorized representative shall acknowledge such condition of the bid as submitted. The bank shall assume no responsibility for misplaced or loss of contents of the improperly sealed or marked bid, or for its premature opening. On the other hand, unsealed and or unmarked bid envelopes or bids that cannot be opened or corrupted in case of online submission shall be rejected. Note, notarized documents as indicated or stipulated in here checklist must bear the complete details of the notary public as follows. Name of the notary public, office address and regular place of work or business, validity of notarial commission, IBPOR number, roll number, PTR number, and at least MCLA compliance 8 or as applicable. Any supplemental bid bulletin issued by the BAC shall be posted in the field jobs in any conspicuous place in the premises of the procuring entity and on the website or social media platforms of the procuring entity, if available, or such other channels as may be authorized by the GPPB. It shall be the responsibility of all prospective bidders, including those who have properly secured the bidding documents, to inquire and secure supplemental bid bulletins that may be issued by the BAC. ITB Clause 19, the address of the submission of bids is through manual submission at the National Printing Office at the corner near North Road, Diliman, Quezon City. The deadline for the submission of bids is May 19, 2026
Mr. Chair,
at 9:30 a.m.
Mr. Yun po, yung date po is supposed to be June 9, 2026.
June 9. The correct is June 9. What about the time? 1:30? Okay, June 9, 1:30 p.m. Please take note, BAC Secretariat, and reflect the necessary adjustment. Okay, continue.
For ITB Clause 22.1, the place of the bid opening is at John Sylvanus Leach Training Room, 3rd floor. The date and time of bid opening is immediately after the deadline of the submission of bids. ITB Clause 26.3a, the award criterion shall be determined as the lowest calculated responsive bid. ITB Clause 27.1, post-qualification documents may be submitted during the bidding. But this does not disqualify bidders who will not submit post-qualification documents during bid submission. Within a non-extendable period of 5 calendar days from receipt by the bidder of the notice from the BAC that it submitted the lowest calculated bid or single calculated bid, the said bidder shall submit the following post-qualification documents. 1. When applicable, copies of contract, purchase order, notice to proceed, notice of award, or letter of extension duly signed by the same individual whose name and signature appears on the original contract or his or her authorized representative, but with a corresponding letter of authority designating the sanction or endorsed signatory of projects stated in the statement of all ongoing projects, including those awarded but not yet started. 2. Valid SEC registration or DTI registration. 3. Bylaws as applicable. 4. Articles of incorporation or amended articles of incorporation as applicable. 5. Updated general information sheet, duly stamp received by the SEC or any proof of receipt of submission made thereto as applicable. 6. Valid mayor's permit. 7. Updated or renewed tax clearance. 8. Latest income and business tax returns filed manually or with EFPS. 9. Updated or latest audited financial statement with proof of receipt by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institution. 10. SSS, Social Security System Clearance Certificate, updated. 11. PhilHealth Clearance Certificate, updated. 12. Pag-ibig Clearance Certificate, updated. 13. Department of Labor and Employment, DO number 174, Certificate of Registration. 14. Notarized affidavit stating that the service provider has not found by the Department of Labor and Employment, National Labor Relations Commission, and National Conciliation and Mediation Board of violating their respective guidelines and or issuances. 15. Documents for submission under Section 7, if any. Note, photocopied documents submitted shall be initialed or signed by the authorized representative. During the inspection of the post-qualification team, the winning bidder shall present the original copies of these documents for comparison. In the event that site inspection cannot be undertaken, it is the responsibility of the winning bidder to present the original post-qualification documents for comparison within the post-qualification period, in compliance with the goods offered with the requirements specified in this bidding document, shall be determined annexed to Section 63.3 of the IRR of RA 12009. The BAC shall verify and validate the veracity, authenticity, and validity of all eligibility documents supporting the PhilJob certificate of registration and all the other statements made and submitted and documents submitted by the bidder with the LCB using non-discretionary criteria as stated in the bidding documents. This criterion shall consider but shall not be limited to the following: A. Legal requirements to verify, validate, and ascertain licenses, certificates, permits, and agreements submitted by the bidder, and the fact that it is not included in any blacklist as provided in Section 54 of this IRR. For this purpose, the GPPB shall maintain a portal which contains the consolidated file of all blacklisted suppliers, contractors, and consultants. B. Technical requirements to verify and validate the bidder's stated compliance with the requirements specified in the bidding documents. C. Financial requirements to verify and validate the bid price proposal of the bidder and, whenever applicable, the required committed line of credit in the amount specified and over the period stipulated in the bidding documents, or the bidder's NFCC to ensure that the bidder can sustain the operating cash flow of the transaction. ITB Clause 31.3, the performance security shall be in any of the following form: the amount of not less than 5% of the total contract price if performance security is in guarantee, irrevocable LOC. The amount of not less than 30% of the total contract price if performance security is surety bond. ITB Section 4, General Condition of the Contract. This is a template. Any changes will be seen on Section 5. Section 5, Special Conditions of the Contract. GCC Clause 1A, the procuring entities, the National Printing Office. GCC Clause 1C, the funding source. The GOP through the source of funding as indicated below for 2026 in the amount of 15 million pesos. The source of funding is through the revolving fund. GCC Clause 1D, the project site is a National Printing Office at sa corner near North Road, Diliman, Quezon City. GCC Clause 10.3, the terms of payment shall be as follows. The janitorial service provider shall be paid on a monthly basis subject to the required expanded withholding tax of 2% and creditable withholding tax on VAT of 5%. Payment shall be made upon submission of the complete documentary requirements, including but not limited to the following: in accordance with the existing accounting and auditing laws, rules, and regulations. Certificate of service performance issued by the Administrative Division and the Office of the Building Administrator. Sales, service, or billing invoice. Payroll summary for the applicable month. Daily time record retrieved from the biometric or the Bandi time card, both the raw copy and the duly accomplished and signed DTR. And proof of remittance to concerned government agency and or GOCC, BIR, SSS, HDMF, and PHIC. Additional requirements for the first payment: valid DOLE certificate of registration of the janitorial or manpower service provider, valid registrations and clearances from SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig Fund, and BIR. List or matrix of janitorial personnel deployed to the procuring entity, together with copies of their valid identification documents and clearances. Copies of duly signed employment or service contracts between the service provider and its deployed personnel. 4. The service provider shall ensure that all deployed personnel are paid in accordance with existing labor laws, wage orders, and social legislation, including the timely remittance of mandatory contributions and benefits. 5. Payment shall be made within reasonable time from submission of monthly billing and has complied and completed all other requirements documents based on existing BIR issuances. 6. No advance payment shall be made as provided in Section 88 of PD 1445. GCC Clause 11.4, payments shall be made in Philippine peso. GCC Clause 16.1, the inspections and tests that will be conducted are the ones issued by the NPO as the need arises. Section 6, Schedule of Requirements. The delivery schedule expressed in weeks or months indicates the required delivery date, which shall be understood as the date the goods are to be delivered to the project site. Number 1, items or good description, procurement of janitorial services for the National Printing Office for 1 year, with 1 supervisor, 29 janitorial personnel, reliever as required, 19 male, 10 female, quantity total of 30 personnel, with a total amount of 15 million pesos. Delivery schedule to commence upon the issuance of the notice to proceed. Approved budget for the contract is 15 million pesos. Section 7, Technical Specification. Bidder must state comply or not comply for each specification and provide the corresponding performance parameters for offered equipment. Each response must be supported by a clear documentary support in bid and properly cross-reference. Acceptable evidence includes unaltered manufacturer sales brochures, official specification sheets, product samples, independent test results, and similar documents. Claims should be backed by a documentary support. If the evidence contradicts the claim, the bid may be rejected. Any false statement, whether in the compliance form or supporting documents, found during evaluation, post-qualification, or contract implementation may be considered fraudulent in accordance with ITB Clause 3.1 and without prejudice to the imposition of appropriate administrative, civil, and criminal penalty in accordance with law. Specification. Contract duration. The duration of the contract shall be for a period of 1 year, commencing upon the issuance of the notice to proceed. Manpower requirement. The service provider shall deploy the following personnel: 1 supervisor, 29 janitorial personnel, 9 personnel male and female personnel as required. Reliever personnel shall be provided whenever necessary to ensure uninterrupted service during absences or leave of regular personnel. The number of personnel may be increased or decreased upon written instruction of the NPO subject to contract provision. Work schedule. Work schedule shall be 8 hours per day, 6 days per week, Mondays to Saturdays, excluding regular holidays and special non-working days, unless otherwise required by the NPO. Scope of work and service. The service provider shall deliver the following janitorial services for all offices, facilities, and surrounding premises of the National Printing Office. First, daily routine operations, indoor, open court, and building perimeter. Sweeping, mopping, spot scrubbing, and polishing of floors and areas where people converge. Cleaning and sanitizing of toilets and washrooms using provided sanitizing and disinfecting agents in wash basins, urinals, and bowls. Vacuuming and shampooing of carpets. Dusting and cleaning of all furnitures, fixtures, office equipment, glass tops, window ledges, and partition which require daily attention. Continuous cleaning of trash and receptacles. Watering the plants, maintenance, and beautification of the building premises. Sweeping and cleaning of pavements and collecting of trash accumulated within the confines of the building to areas provided for this purpose for pickup of garbage trucks or collectors. Weekly periodic operations. Washing of inside and outside glass windows and doors. Washing, scrubbing, and polishing of all building floors, and cleaning, waxing, polishing of office furnitures, fixtures, and counters, including equipment that requires special maintenance. 3 monthly periodic operation. Thorough general cleaning of all areas covered in this agreement, and general cleaning, sanitizing, and disinfecting of all washrooms and toilets. Other services. Assist in the periodic cleaning of diffusers, removal of clogs on bowls, wash basins, and urinals, drain by using special apparatus, janitorial services during affairs of client, janitorial support during official events and activities of the NPO, assist in the cleaning of grill exhaust and aircon including filters, quarterly cleaning of exterior building glass panel, assistance in the bundling and handling of recyclable materials such as trimmings and scrap papers when necessary, pest control support activities such as spraying of insecticides when required, assistance in hauling and transferring office furniture and equipment within the premises when necessary, messengerial works within the NPO, within the office, and extra-hour service during special NPO occasions. Materials, supplies, and equipment. The service provider shall deliver sufficient cleaning materials, supplies, and equipment necessary for the effective delivery of janitorial services, including but not limited to industrial type vacuum cleaners, minimum of 4 units, floor polishers, minimum of 3 units, landscaping and gardening tools, cleaning tools such as mops, brooms, dusters, buckets, and cleaning carts, cleaning chemicals, disinfectants, and sanitation materials. All equipment must be in good working condition and replaced immediately in case of breakdown. Please see Annex B. Project standards and requirements. To ensure accomplishment of the project objectives, the following are the minimum requirement for the service provider. The service provider shall be responsible for assigning efficient janitors to undertake cleaning and general services, shall require janitors to wear the prescribed uniforms during hours of duty and submit themselves to a security check by the client's security personnel when leaving the office premises and when warranted upon entering the same. The service provider shall immediately replace any janitor whose behavior, conduct, appearance, and performance is not satisfactory upon request in writing by the client or its duly authorized representative. The service provider shall be responsible for any mishap, incident, or injury of any kind or nature that may be sustained by its personnel while performing their respective duties at the client's premises. The service provider shall be liable for any claims, monetary or otherwise made by its personnel in connection with the provision of all labor laws and regulations regarding wages, allowances, and other remunerations. The service provider shall submit to the client a monthly inventory report of cleaning or janitorial materials, supplies, and equipment. The service provider shall exercise discipline, supervision, control, and administration over its janitorial personnel in accordance with existing laws, pertinent government rules and regulations, as well as the rules and policies set forth by the client on the matter. The service provider shall guarantee for the loss or damage of the client's property of the employees or visitors unless it has been duly established after investigation that the said loss or damage did not result from the act, omission, negligence, or fault of the service provider or any of its janitorial personnel. Such loss, pilferage, breakage, or damage of the properties involved must be reported to the NPO within 5 working days from occurrence or discovery thereof. When such loss or damage is caused by the force majeure or fortuitous event, the service provider shall not in any way be made responsible. The service provider shall comply with all existing labor laws, minimum wage, cost of living allowance, 13th-month pay, service incentives, leave pay, retirement benefits, SSS, Pag-ibig, PhilHealth, premium contributions, and other mandatory benefits as provided by the law. For this purpose, it shall submit a monthly presentation of the bill, a sworn certification that it has paid wages, allowances, and bonuses of its employees in accordance with the law. Supervision: the building administrator and or his authorized representative shall exercise general supervision of all janitorial personnel in accordance with existing laws, pertinent government rules and regulations, as well as the rules and policies set forth by the client on the matter. Confidentiality: all personnel shall observe strict confidentiality regarding information obtained while performing duties within NPO premises. Performance and evaluation. The National Printing Office reserves the right to evaluate the performance of the service provider periodically based on quality of cleaning services, attendance and punctuality of personnel, compliance with contractual obligations, responsiveness to sanitation issues. Unsatisfactory performance may be a ground for corrective action or contract termination. Contractual obligations. Both parties shall adhere to the terms and conditions outlined in the contractual agreement. Any amendments or modifications to the agreement shall be made in writing or mutually agreed upon. Termination clause. Either party reserves the right to terminate the contract with a notice period of 1 month in case of breach of contract, unsatisfactory performance, or any other valid reason. Review of terms. These terms of reference shall be subject to periodic review and may be amended as deemed necessary by the NPO. Annex A, price schedule. Number of working days in a year, 313 days. Number of personnel, 29 janitors, 1 supervisor. 1, direct labor cost, average pay per month, 13-month pay, days incentive leave. Second, indirect labor cost, SSS, PhilHealth premium, ECC, Pag-ibig Fund contributions. Third, operating cost, supplies, materials, equipment. Administrative cost, 15% with the total cost. Then VAT, 12%, total per janitor or personnel per month, total contract rate per month for 29 janitors and 1 supervisor, total contract rate for 1 year, and total bid or offer. Annex B, checklist of minimum required supplies and equipment. Janitorial list of supplies and equipment for 1 year. Particulars, minimum quantity, unit of measurement, annual cost. For equipment, 5 pieces grass scissors, 10 pieces bolo, 29 pieces glass squeegee, large with handle, 3 unit floor polisher, 4 unit vacuum, 4 pieces shovel, 58 unit, 2 per janitor, mop aluminum handle. Walang unit cost, ma'am. 116, no UOM, 4 per janitor, mop head, nylon thread. 10 unit, mop squeezer with bucket. 116 unit, 4 per janitor, toilet bowl brush. 4 unit extension wire with outlet, 30 meters. 4 unit garden hose, 5/8 inches by 50 feet, 2 unit high-pressure portable washer. For supplies and consumables, 240 kilogram powder soap, 116 pair, 4 per janitor, hand gloves, heavy duty, 3,000 rolls tissue paper, 1,500 pieces, deodorant cake, 50 grams, 99%, paraditol, 29 pieces stick broom, 116 pieces 4 per janitor soft broom, 58 pieces 2 per janitor dustpan, 120 rim steel wool 16 giant pads 200 grams per rim, 84 gallons toilet bowl cleaner, 48 gallon fabric conditioner, 38 kilogram chlorine, 696 can furniture polish, 696 can air freshener, 36 gallon emulsion wax, 36 gallon disinfectant spray, 700 pieces door mat, rectangular shape, standard size 20 inch by 12 inch, 29 pieces ceiling broom, 190 packs plastic garbage bag, triple XL 100 pieces, 66 gallon liquid hand soap, 80 pieces polishing pad, 80 pieces red buffer. Section 8, Philippine bidding documents. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Ma'am Rochelle. For Section 8, please use the prescribed forms. And any forms that are necessary to use, that are not available under 12009, check the forms under 9184 for supplementary documents, template. Okay. Now, the floor is open for any comments, suggestion, and questions. Okay, thank you very much. You are now excused. Hearing none. Ganun lang, kasimple. Okay, sige. Wait lang na wait until you are recognized bago kayo magsalita. Sige, si ma'am na number 2. I-number ko na lang ha. Number. Then, bago kayo magsalita, state your name kasi on record po tayo. And your name, paulit-ulit lang po yon. Maski pangalawang tanong, pangatlong tanong, pang-apat, ganun pa rin. Pangalan, company, and your question. Sige, number 2.
Good afternoon po. Miss Irene Bravo po from Excellent General Services. Dito lang po sa page 88 po, sa Annex A, sa price schedule. Just want to clarify po kasi napansin namin naka-separate po yung supervisor. Just to clarify lang po kung iba po ba yung rate ng supervisor or same rate lang po siya ng sa janitor po.
Okay. Nakuha mo yung tanong, ma'am. Ano sa computation mo? Sige, ma'am. Ako na? Ha? Same lang, ma'am. Ano lang yan. Para maipakita lang na mayroon siyang supervisor. Pero wala namang pagkakaiba yung supervisor. Yun lang trabaho. Pero sa sahod, the same lang. Okay.
From Excellent po ulit, Miss Irene Bravo. Dito po ulit sa page 88, yung sa administrative cost, napansin po kasi namin, may computation po na nakalagay na 15%. Just to clarify lang po, ito na po ba yung mismong computation or minimum po ito? Or ito na po talaga yung mismong basis ng computation, 15% for the admin?
Sige, ma'am. Dialyn.
Ma'am, good afternoon po. Yes po, ma'am. Yan na po. Nag-convene na rin po yung body na i-fix na po namin sa 15% po.
Okay, no?
Meron.
Actually, sir, may dalawa pa po akong
Sige,
clarification.
ano mo na yun, ma'am. I-mention mo na. Total, wala pa naman ako nakikitang nagtataas.
Okay.
Diretso na, ma'am, yung dalawa.
Dito po sa Annex B, sir, sa page 89, dito po sa supplies and consumables, yung letter B po, just to clarify lang po, kasi naka 1 year po to nakalagay. So, yung delivery po ba, yung schedule of delivery of supplies during the implementation is 1 year lang, isang one-time delivery lang po, or hahatiin po to sa 12 months po? Or may quarterly po ba dito? Parang ganun.
Sige, ma'am, Dialyn. Wala bang nakalagay doon sa TUR mo, yung schedule of delivery?
I-double check ko lang po, pero yung existing po kasi natin ngayon, nagma-monthly po sila.
So,
Yung schedule of delivery.
sige, itaas po natin dito. Sige, ma'am. Sa bottom portion po. Dito na lang po natin ilagay kasi consumables. Ilagay po natin yung note, yung delivery is on monthly basis po. Ma'am Dialyn. Please take note sa back secretariat. Monthly po, ma'am.
Issue the corresponding bid bulletin, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Thank you. Sige, ma'am. Isa pa.
Okay, and then last na lang po, sir, dito pa rin po sa Annex B, since nagbigay po ng ganitong format si NPO, required po ba yung costing ng supplies? Ibig sabihin, hindi po ba pwede kaming mag-zero supplies if ever? Kung may bidder po na sasali na magsi-zero supplies, hindi po ba yun allowed if ever po?
Tanong mo kung pwede kayong mag-zero
Kung-
supply.
Kung required, sir, yung costing per item po nung mga kumbaga, meron po kasi, sir, na meron po kasi mga client na nire-required nila yung costing per item. So, may nakalagay po na amount. Bawal ka pong mag-zero. So, dito po ba sa NPO, same din po na
Okay,
bawal
sige,
pong
kasi,
mag-zero. Magpuput po
natuwa ko
talaga
lang.
kami ng certain amount for that item po since may ganito pong format.
Nakuha ko. Ito po ba sa required supplies and equipment, ilalagay, attachment ito sa price matrix? Kasi dalawa yung sa Dalawa. Price matrix at saka bidding form. Dalawa yan. Ito parang, ano lang po ito. Parang, anong tawag dito? Compliance. Bakit compliance to?
May annual cost kasi, sir, na nakalagay.
Part of the compliance natin ito? Nasa Section 7 ito, ma'am? Okay. Sige, Section 7. Compliance statement po ito. Part sa Section 7? Okay. Part sa Section 7, compliance statement po yan. Then, lagay nyo lang po yung annual cost niya. Then, may total para ma-complete yung form. Okay? Maliwanag po yun naman kasi compliance po ito. Comply, amount, annually. Then, balik tayo doon sa bidding form. Price matrix. Opo, yung supplies. Sa supply lang po. Doon lang. Konting-konti lang. Ma'am? Hindi. Doon. Balik. Okay. Oops. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Saan po? Number 3, supplies, materials, and equipment. Please see Annex B. Di po ba? May nakalagay po diyon. Hindi, siyempre, yung amount po niya. Yun yung tanong mo, di ma'am, in relation dito sa form na ito. Kasi kung maglalagay ka ng amount yon, most likely ilalagay mo yan. Ma'am, kaya mo bang sagutin yun, ma'am? Ako na lang. Mag-agree ka na lang. Actually, hindi siya bawal na maglagay ng free. Ang required lang sa batas yung administrative cost na 15%. Ang magmamatter po kasi dito, ito po yun. Yung nandun sa una, I think mag-agree po tayo. Kasi kung ilalagay niya 0 dito, tapos hindi kaparehas sa isa, madidikyo ba sila? Dapat ba consistent? Consistent daw. Tama naman, consistent dapat. Kung ano yung isiniro mo doon, dapat yun ang ilalagay mo yan. Kung total is 0, dapat 0 dyan. Kung nilagay mo is minimum amount lang, but hindi po nangangahulugan na nagbawas kayo ng price, ay hindi nyo i-deliver yung total quantity required for 1 year. Tama po? Okay. So, sana naipaliwanag namin ng maayos. So, parehas lang po, mama. Kung ano yung nasa Annex B, dapat yung mag-reflect po dito. Okay. Kasi during bid evaluation, tinitignan po nila yan. Kasi may amount po yung Annex B. Annex B. So, yun. Parehas lang. Kung inconsistent, baka madikyo na po kayo. Hindi po kami pwedeng mag-interpret. Bawal po sa amin yun. Dapat klaro. Kasi magiging,
And then, sir, Noted na po doon na naintindihan ko naman po. And then another question po arises. Kasi sabi po kasi ni ma'am kanina, this is part of the technical, tama po ba? Technical specification. However, sir, if ever magiging part po siya ng technical specification, hindi po ba makikita na agad yung bid namin for the amount?
Yes,
Or if
correct.
ever po ba, dito po sa Annex B, ang ilalagay lang namin comply, wala pong amount muna, and then sa financial po magre-reflect yung amount po.
Okay, financial,
If
ano,
ever
tama
po.
po. Sige.
Yan.
Very good suggestion po, ma'am.
Opo.
Tanggalin na lang natin dahil anong tawag po dito, yung SBB natin. Tanggalin po natin itong hindi annual cost dito sa last. Hindi na siya section 7 kasi pag section 7 sa technical, first envelope pa lang makikita na. Yun yung sinasabi. Ang worry na,
Magiging bid
makikita na kagad. Part na lang ito doon sa financial. Tama po ba, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
If ever po kasi magiging part siya, so kung sa technical, sir, pag open po ng technical namin, makikita nyo na po agad yung Annex A, yung bid namin, and then yung Annex B, yung costing po namin.
Yes, ma'am. Correct po kayo. Thank you for that suggestion. Alisin na lang po natin, Miss Dialyn, dito. Dito na lang siya sa financial. Remove po, SBB po natin, remove yung last column. Last column, strike out nyo yung last column. Yung compliance statement. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Chair, ano lang po, for clarification po. Bali, bukod po dito sa Statement of Compliance sa Annex B, Annex A and Annex B po, magiging part na siya ng bid form.
Bid form.
Apo,
Bid form.
noted po.
Part ng bid form. Parang price matrix niya kasama sa price matrix nito. So sa financial po ninyo i-attach, mama. Okay.
Yes.
Meron pa, ma'am?
From excellent, sir, no further question po. Thank you po.
Thank you, ma'am. Naging provider din natin ang excellent dati, di ba? Karon din tayo. Sige. Sige, sino yung nagtaas? Si ma'am, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 5.
Good afternoon po, Jumeli Sanchez from Supermaster. Tanong ko lang po, i-clarify ko lang po. Page 82, work schedule po. Sabi doon, 313 days, pero excluding ang regular holidays and special. Kung bibilangin po, kasama po doon yung regular holiday and special, doon sa 313 days po.
313.
Bali ka-clarify ko lang na kasama pa rin siya, pero no premium. Kung if ever walang pasok. No work, no pay po. Diba?
No work, no pay po
Pero
tayo.
kasama pa rin siya sa bilang ng days po.
Yes, ma'am, I think. Kasama po yan.
Okay po.
Kasama po siya.
Tapos, natanong naman po ni ma'am kanina na excellent, tama ba ako? Na
Excellent,
yung mga
sa excellent.
sa excellent yung mga tanong ko. So, bali pa, isi-sure ko lang po na hindi natin pinagbabawal ang zero supplies. Tama po ba?
Yes.
Ang zero
Yes,
supplies, hindi po
ma'am.
pinagbabawal.
Opo. Pero required po kayong i-deliver kung ano yung
yes po, kung
required
ano yung
quantity.
nandun. Yes, sir.
Opo.
Okay po, bali, clarify ko din po na i-sure ko lang din po kung tama po yung pagkakaintindi ko. Kung ano yung nandun sa annual costing, zero, kung isi-zero po, dapat zero din yung nandun sa Annex A po. Dapat consistent
Parehas,
po. Tama.
consistent po siya.
And then, sa page 88, admin, i-sure ko lang po, parang i-sure ko lang po sa automatic po na disqualified pag nag-less pa sa 15%. Tama po ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Minimum
Correct po kayo.
15%. Okay po. Last question po. Applicable po ba ang discount?
Discount.
Yes po.
Parang wala na tayong makikitang saan ka magdi-discount. Well, hindi ko masasagot pa yan kasi parang hindi ko makita kung saan ang discount yan. Doon lang sa supplies. Saan mo pa makikita madidikyo ka, ate? sa ECC, required by law yan. Pag-ibig pan,
Yun nga po ang ano po
hindi
namin.
pwede.
So, hindi talaga siya allowed po. Right po. Para po ma-clarify ko lang po sa lahat.
sa due for personnel,
Yes po.
walang discount.
Yes po.
Yung supplies, sa inyo po yun.
Okay po.
Yun po yun yung,
Yes.
kasi baka mamaya sabihin mo, interpret mo na may discount.
Yes po.
So, yung may discount doon sa may supplies.
Supplies. Opo.
Yun po yun.
Apo.
Pero yung due for the personnel, dapat
Wala.
required by law ang sundan po natin.
Okay po. Yun lang po, sir.
Sige, ma'am.
Apo. Thank you po.
Huwag mong bawasan yung para sa tao, yung monthly niya, baka
Gusto ko nga dagdagan,
magka-problema.
sir.
Okay, sige. Si Sir, 1,
Thank
2,
you
sige ma'am, thank you ma'am. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. JD Ariban from Urogenitorial Services. Clarification lang po, page 51, the data sheet and item number 18. Regarding po dun sa submissions of the envelope, for clarification lang, sir, it's up to us, the bidders, kung isasama na po namin yung post-qualification documents.
Correct,
Hindi
sir.
po siya required.
Hindi siya required.
Yun lang po, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Hindi siya required. Pero if you wish to submit, hindi kayo madidikyo. Pag hindi mo sinabit, hindi rin kayo madidikyo. Okay, wala na po tanong. Si ma'am, number 3.
Good afternoon, sir, from One Merit Global Janitorial Services, Mr. Sally Pata po. Sir, clarification lang po dun sa page 86, yung letter H po. May nabanggit po kasing retirement benefits po doon. Then dun sa ano nga natin, Annex A, hindi siya included. So, ano po yung isasama po ba natin siya or ito lang po yung susundin natin, yung Annex A.
Sige, wait, mama. The service provider shall comply with all existing liberal service. Ano ma'am ito? Sample lang po ito. Tingnan nyo ay. Pero dapat mag-comply ka sa existing labor laws. Yun lang ang ibig sabihin niya. Hindi lang na mention, etc. Gusto mo ilagay na lang natin. Sige, palagyan nga na lang na etc.
Okay na, sir.
Okay.
Next question ko, i-clarify ko lang din po yung regarding sa deliveries. Tama po ba, sir, ang sinabi kasi ni ma'am kanina, monthly po yung deliveries. Bali, yung quantity nito, ma'am, i-divide lang namin siya for 12 months.
Yes.
Tama po.
Ma'am, kindly answer, ma'am. Yes, tama po kayo.
Okay, thank you po. Yun lang, sir. Thank you po.
Sige. I think wala nang tanong. May tanong pa ba? Sige, isa-isahin natin para at least bago natin i-adjourn. Sir, number 1. Tanong. Wala na? Okay, thank you. Number 2. Thank you, ma'am. Number 3. Okay, si ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sir? Last. Okay, with that, thank you very much for attending this afternoon activity. And if you need assistance after this meeting, just go directly to the back secretariat. Doon lang po kayo magtanong. Ito po yung sila. Kung may katanungan po kayo. Ayan yung sinasabi ko. Mayroon pa pala. Sige, sige.
Sorry. Ano lang po, sorry. Yung mga changes po ba na i-apply natin sa bidding document will be
reflected
sa bid bulletin?
Yes, sir. Kailan po yung last, kailan yung last na posting ng SBB? June 2 o June 2. Abangan mo po yun, sir. June
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Wala po.
Wala na? So, ulitin ko po, kung mayroon pa kayong tanong after this activity, dumiretso po kayo, tumawag po kayo sa BACSEC para kayo ay ma-assist. And for those who wish to purchase the bid docs, available na po. And available na po siya. and will be made available until the schedule of opening and submission of bids. Okay? Thank you very much, and you are now excused.
Mr. Chair, wait lang po pala.
Meron pa pala.
Yung regarding po sa bibili ng bid docs, yung sumali po before, hindi na po siya need magbayad.
Hindi, pwede na magbayad ulit. Okay lang, ma'am. If you wish to pay. Hindi, ma'am, gusto magbayad ka, okay lang. Walang technicality po doon. Libre ka na. Ay, okay lang yon. Hindi na natin mawi-withdraw yun, ma'am. Kasi masyado kang excited. Hindi namin kasalanan. Tama po yon. Ganito pa ang ruling. Ito, tatandaan ninyo po para pag umatin po kayo ng bidding projects. Pag ang failure of bidding ay ang cost nun ay kami sa procuring entity, lahat ng sumali, free. Pero pag kayo ang nagkaroon ng problema, nag-cost, forfeited po yon. Since nagbayad ka na, hindi mo na pwedeng yun, withdraw. Thank you very much, ma'am. Na-excuse. Opo. Pagkano ba yung... thank you very much. Salamat. Hindi mo pwede nang i-withdraw yun. Matagal na proseso yan pagka sumulat ka. Pwede. Try mo. Sumulat. Pero hindi ko masisigurado kung paano mo. Okay. Thank you very much. You are no excuse. Karinya niya po yung ano yun. Okay. May meeting tayo ng alas 3. Diretso na. Sige, adjournment na tayo. Adjournment na. Ay, si TWG. Ma'am. Sige, excuse na po kayo, ma'am. Okay na po kayo. Okay, thank you. Excited eh.
Sayang yung 25.
Pwede naman mo. Pwede i-apply niya sa ano. Hindi niya mawi-withdraw. Pero if pwedeng sa Alexis, pwede yun. Pwede siya sumulat.
Collegium respectfully recommends the issuance of a bid bulletin for the project Procurement of Janitorial Services for the National Printing Office for 1 year with identification number NPO-BAC-003-26 to formalize agreed upon amendments and clarifications. Accordingly, the bid bulletin shall be posted and uploaded on the NPO and PhilJEP's website and be displayed prominently within the NPO premises.
This is the majority's recommendation. It's not before the body in a motion from the members of the body.
I move to adopt the recommendation made by the technical working group, Mr. Chair.
I second the motion, Mr. Chair.
An objection? Hearing none, the recommendation is hereby adopted. Please take note, back secretariat for the revision and effect on the SBB.
Duly noted, Mr. Chair. We'll draft the corresponding bid bulletin.
Okay.
In this regard, having no other matters to discuss, the BACSEC respectfully recommends the adjournment of the proceedings.
The back secretariat recommends for the adjournment of the activity in motion from the members of the BAC.
I move to adopt the recommendation of the BACSEC, Mr. Chair.
An objection? Hearing none, the activity is hereby adjourned at exactly 2:57 in the afternoon. Thank you very much. Stay na po yung mga steering